The state of the Cape, a $7 million transfer, budget talks tonight for the school committee, and hookah in Hyannis. Details on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, March 13th, 2013. I'm Sarah Colvin. The Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce will be talking about the state of the Cape this Friday morning. Chamber CEO Wendy Northcross has details.
We actually, on Friday of this week, plan to present the Cape Cod Chamber's view of the state of the Cape at our first, what we hope will be annual or maybe biannual event called the State of the Cape. And we really and truly, have taken a deep dive into some of the issues that affect our community and have really got some interesting statistics to share about the economy and our gross regional product, which is just the value of what we produce around here, either goods or services. And the news is pretty good. So we thought, why don't we share this with a wider audience than just our board and our members? So we are going to the Community Media Center in Dennisport, and we will actually be airing this live on TV the morning of the 15th of March, but it will also be a video archive that we can link to our website, and we will have a lot of other information linked to our website. But it will also be the first regional TV station broadcast on the brand new Channel 98.
Channel 98 is known as Cape Span and will be broadcasting regional news from one end of the Cape to the other. The State of the Cape broadcast begins at 7:30 Friday morning at the Cape Cod Community Media Center on Shadhole Road in Dennisport. Next Thursday, Town Council will hear a request to transfer $7 million from the general fund into the town's capital trust fund. Finance Director Mark Milne explains.
We had a pretty good financial year in 2012 where we were able to grow our general fund reserves or free cash account up to a level of $17.2 million. And in considering all of the capital needs that we have in town, we felt that would be an appropriate use of some of those reserves for the capital program. And so we're proposing to transfer about $7 million of that out over to the Capital Trust Fund, which will allow us to leverage the money in the Capital Trust Fund for a comprehensive multi-year bonding program that we project to allow us to spend issue about 30 to 35 million in new bonds if we were to do this transfer. So it's a one-time transfer. And it will give us a capital program that we haven't had, the size of a capital program that we haven't had for a few years now.
Milne talks about how capital funds will be spent.
We're looking, we're looking to continue our commitment of $3.2 million a year for public road infrastructure. But in addition to that, we're looking to commit about anywhere from $5 to $7 million a year in new borrowing authorizations, and much of that is going to go towards facilities. We have quite a bit of needs on the school side, as well as the municipal side when it comes to renovating facilities. Many of those facilities are old. You need to replace roofs and boilers and things like that. Over the years, they only have a certain lifespan, and those types of things need to be fixed. And so, we're looking at anywhere from $5 to $7 million a year, provided there's no significant changes in the municipal bond market, and that's how we intend to use the money, mostly in that area.
Town Council will vote on that at their meeting next Thursday, March 21st, here at Town Hall. Tonight, the Barnstable School Committee meets in the Knight Auditorium at Barnstable High for a public hearing on the proposed fiscal 2014 budget. Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mary Chakowski, is proposing a $60.2 million budget. It's about $2 million more than last year, an increase of just under 4%. Dr. Chakowski has details about tonight's hearing.
This Wednesday, we have a public hearing at 7 p.m. In the Barnstable High School Knight Auditorium. It will be our final budget presentation and an opportunity for the public to weigh in. I've been getting some positive feedback, I think, from a couple of people in the community that I've been speaking with about the importance of once again, putting some resources over at Hyannis West in an area of need and, trying to overall reduce class size. Our goal is to reduce class size at the elementary level, and I think this is the first step. It's the most needy school currently with free and reduced lunch as well as our English language learners. So I'm hopeful that we'll get a positive vote on the budget and look forward to its presentation this Wednesday night.
The school committee meets tonight at 7 o'clock inside the Knight Auditorium at Barnstable High School. Local businessman Azam Jamal might want to bring a new establishment to town, a hookah bar. Jamal was at yesterday's Board of Health meeting for an informal discussion about his plans.
Open a tobacco-free hookah lounge. I've seen a lot of different culture businesses in this town, and I'm trying to bring some Middle Eastern culture in this town. And I think it is going to be something new to this town. I think it is going to be the perfect step for the young crowd, which is 18 plus, to come and enjoy the Middle Eastern calm music and enjoy the hydro-herbal tobacco-free hookah and the belly dancing. This will get their attention away from alcohol and drugs, which is very common these days. You probably be thinking, what is hookah? Hookah is the name of a large water pipe that originated in India but gained popularity in the Middle Eastern, mainly in Turkey and Iran. It is a large pipe that utilizes water and indirect heat for smoking. Shisha is the name of the tobacco mixture that is smoked in this pipe. Shisha comes in several flavors. The fruit flavor is most popular. Smoking the hookah is a social activity that is gaining popularity all over the world, especially among young people. A typical hookah session lasts for about 45 minutes, and the hookah can be shared by one or several people.
Jamal has details about the non-tobacco form of hookah.
Now I'm trying to open the second part. Now what is hydro-herbal hookah? Hydro-herbal molasses has achieved a new epiphany in the ever-growing phenomena of hookah water pipes culture. This new discovery has now been masterfully perfected and modelly recreated in the USA by infusing herbal molasses with exotic flavors for a powerful taste with superb quality. An era of organic herbs secretly hidden from the centuries across the country seas has been unlocked and unleashed and brought to the Western world exclusively by hydro-herbal. Herbal is a much healthier alternative to tobacco smoking. It's 100% tobacco free. There's no tar, there's no nicotine, it's just a flavor essence. And I'm going to introduce some new Middle Eastern herbal teas, some new soft music, belly dancing. It's just an idea to the committee. I know it's a tough town, but it's something new to this town I'm trying to present.
The plan is going to require lots of legwork as Barnstable does have a smoking ban. David Wood, owner of the town's only smoking lounge, addressed the board and raised concerns about hookah smoking. Board chair Dr. Wayne Miller talks about the definitions and interpretations of the current law, which could be a roadblock for Jamal's establishment.
My interpretation of our regulation is that lighting of a pipe, regardless of what's contained in there, is smoking.
Yes.
That's my interpretation, but I want to run that by legal. And number two, looking at the state law, their definition, the state's definition of smoking is any inhaling of a combustible material, and no definition of whether it's tobacco-based or not. So I think on both those points, this facility would not be allowed under our current.
Meanwhile, Miller says some research into the law and its applications in Barnstable will take place.
We'll run this by legal. Somebody from the division will be back in touch with you. And if you want, regardless of what we find out, if you want to do an official application for some sort of variance, I mean, that's your privilege. But clearly this is the first time it came up before us, and we just needed to do a little fact-finding first.
Jamal did note to the board other towns with smoking bans like Plymouth have recently opened similar lounges. Tomorrow night, Barnstable Town Council will meet in workshop session. The plan is to discuss the 4 remaining proposed problem property ordinances. The first passed earlier this year. Councilors will talk about the finer points of changes to code regarding building and property maintenance, rental properties, rental registration, and noise. That workshop begins at 6 o'clock this Thursday night, in the Selectmen's Conference Room at Town Hall. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.